Welcome to GameFINITY, I'm Scott Lee, and today I want to talk about the future of gaming. Something that a lot of other videos here on YouTube land are talking about, and people are saying a lot of things. You know, lately a lot of the discussion's been about virtual reality, and certainly that is a part of the future of gaming, but I think we're going to explore some potentially unexpected areas here in this video. First thing to say is that gaming is going to get crazy mobile. Staying at home is just really an option at this point. Hardware has been advancing so much, and it is so powerful that we are at a point where developers are going to have to contend with the fact that software is not keeping up with the speed of hardware, and the extra processing power that we have, whether that be in video game consoles or computers, is so tremendous that you're going to be able to play video games soon enough where you have millions and millions of polygons on the screen simultaneously. To give you some comparison, by the way, back whenever we had the Nintendo 64, we were lucky to get like, I don't know, 60, 100,000 on the screen at once. So that is a huge leap, and that was back in 1996. We're going to see hardware and software adopt a common architecture. It was a huge deal whenever the Wii U came out, and probably the Wii before that, and maybe even the GameCube before that for Nintendo, to not adopt these common practices that were happening both in the world of PC as well as PlayStation and Xbox to develop games. One of the reasons that Nintendo has not really been able to get a whole lot of third-party support, or in other words, developers developing games for the Wii U, is not so much from underpowered hardware. I know people talk about that a lot. You're able to do a number of things to actually get it to run on that less powerful hardware, but if the hardware is both less powerful and has a different architecture, and is also selling third place in the market, well, you can kind of see where this is going. It's gonna be really huge when Nintendo comes out with their next console, and it has native support for the Unity game engine, the Unreal game engine, Coco, maybe even Game Maker. You can write native code in C++, and as rumors have said, developers have basically said you just write your code, you compile the game, and it just works. So that's a huge step for Nintendo, and then if they can match that hardware power, plus really pull out some strong sales on that console's launch, then honestly, it can put them back into first place. Sony and Microsoft are these two giants. They're number one and number two in the game market right now, and they're essentially throwing you some PCs for a very low price, and even underpowered PC hardware, you're able to play a huge library of games. The number of games that exist in the Steam library alone are tremendous, and so you have a whole lot more options there, and you get a consistent experience with what you get on a home console. Nintendo is the only company that's doing something different. They're the only ones that are providing that unique experience, and they're doing so outside of a traditional controller or this whole trend in 2016 of virtual reality. And that's regardless of how you feel about motion controls. Another big thing that's going to come along with this common architecture and all of these hardware improvements is artificial intelligence. So when you play games against the computer, or you have bots running around in your first-person shooters, they usually behave in certain ways, and sometimes in the past there's been some really ridiculous videos of just how crazy that AI has acted. A lot of that is because artificial intelligence in video games has had to be written in a way that allows very limited hardware to still perform a high variety of actions in a 3D environment. There's a lot going on for that computing power to do. So with that increased hardware, we're not just going to see crazy graphical quality, which we're already at. And at this point, I mean, me personally, I don't even care that much about graphics anymore, because just about everything these days looks amazing compared to what it did. But maybe that's because I'm old, 27 years old, and I grew up on the Super Nintendo with 16-bit graphics. Nonetheless, you're gonna see some really crazy stuff, guys. Like if you go and you play the next Pikmin game, or you go and play Ashes of the Singularity on PC, or some other title that has these crazy behaviors with hundreds of little characters on screen, you're gonna see some amazing stuff. You're gonna see complex strategies where they're gonna try and surround you, and a lot of these other different types of things. That computing those things in artificial intelligence has always been very expensive. It's going to be less expensive, or at the very least easier to do with the increased hardware power now. When you play role-playing games, when you play your Zelda, when you play your Skyrim, whenever you play whatever, you're gonna see really, really awesome, deep, intricate character interactions. They will respond to subtleties, and you'll be able to probably even have actual conversations with them in a way that we've just never seen before. I mean, it's not just gonna end with Siri on your phone being able to take directions to Google Maps or whatever. It's gonna be really, really ridiculous. I'm just so crazy excited about where we're headed. The direction is just going to be awesome. We're gonna see better graphics, better artificial intelligence, better frame rates. It's just gonna be crazy, man. And I really just can't wait. I know you can't wait either. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below if you liked the video. Share, favorite, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time.